Hi everyone. Hi teachers and students. We would like to say thank you for your support and thank you for keep learning with Mentari Group live streaming lesson. And now, Mentari Group in collaboration with Pesona Edu would like to support digital learning, which enables children to learn independently at home. Currently, it is available for 3 titles, which are New Math Champion, this is New Math Champion, and it is available for Juara Matematika, an Indonesian version of New Math Champion, and also Juara Science, a science textbook in Indonesian language. And through this support, we hope the children of Indonesia can more easily learn mathematics and science in this current situation. After this, let us show you how this digital learning and how mathematics learning can be done with interactive features and engaging visual and also systematic lesson delivery. Let's have a look at the New Math Champion Level 2. And this is the page of New Math Champion 2. And let's see the contents in the primary 2. The students will learn about numbers to 1000 and then addition and subtraction using models, addition and subtraction, and then it also about multiplication, division, money, length, and I think allow us to show you chapter 11, which is about mass. Let's click. This is mass in chapter 11, and the page that we show you is carry out this activity. So it is one of the features in New Math Champion digital interactive books. And the first lesson, it is about measuring in kilograms. Talking about carry out this activity, it provides the opportunity for the kids to consolidate mathematical concept through activities, of course, and the use of concrete materials. In this case, we can learn about 1 kilogram mass, and we compare 1 kilogram mass with fruits, and in this case it is pear, and also another object that is bag. And let's turn the next page that is about ready set go. It is also one of the features in New Math Champion. It introduces the concepts, skills, or problem-solving strategies in a very engaging way. And the visual and the pictures here are also very good and very interesting for the children to learn. And let's check another page. And this is the page that we want to show you. You know, some pages are also enriched with interactive features, which are marked with this kind of icon, this. Yeah, so let's check this icon.
Hello, welcome to our online lessons with me. And today we are going to learn about how to write an essay. In this time, we are talking about argumentative essay. Why do we need to learn to write an argumentative essay? Do you have any ideas why? Why do you think it's important? In this era of internet, when almost everybody in the world can access internet, I believe almost every one of us here has our social media account. And often we see in our timeline, people are posting news, people are posting events, issues, and I believe you realize that nowadays people are more open, and especially the young people, we like to air our opinions there. And sometimes in the comments we can see that people are divided into two: those who are supporting the topic, and the other one, those who are against or opposing the topic, are even fighting there. Just like what we have right now. We are in our situation right now, we are facing what do you call that, coronavirus outbreak, and people have their own opinions regarding this issue. Especially, for example, with the case of locking down a certain place or a country, people have their own opinion. Some support it, some are very opposing it. So why should we learn to write an argumentative essay? Because here we are trying to think logically to avoid conflict in the society. To avoid people misunderstand us. We are trying to think and share our opinion critically, logically, and of course convincingly, because our purpose in airing or in conveying our opinion is usually to let people follow what we think, right? And as usual, in every essay we have the basic structure. Here we are going to learn the simple one. There are lots of ways to learn how to write and how to write an argumentative essay, and this is just one of the ways. So we have introduction, body, and conclusion. And before we go further, I would like to show you the details in a glimpse of what we're going to discuss for the whole lesson. Here in introduction, we have general discussion, background information or general background. We have definition if necessary. We have conflict or controversy. We have keywords. We have thesis statement. In the body paragraph, we are going to pay attention to the topic sentence, supporting sentences, point, explanation or elaboration, example, and evidence, and also the concluding sentence. There in the body still, we are also going to discuss the flow. And here, I recommend 3 styles. You may have your own actually, but these are my suggestion. Sandwich, turn the table, or the opposite to turn the table. And do not forget about the transition word for the body paragraphs. And for the conclusion, we are going to see how we will summarize and paraphrase the points that we have in body paragraphs. We're going to, we may also give our future prediction, or we can give suggestion. And we should refer back to our thesis statement and close it with a final statement. To make it clear, we're going to learn about it step by step. But before we start writing it, I am really suggesting you, I would really suggest that you would have your planning. Why? Planning is very important, because by planning what you're going to write, or by what you're going to talk actually, you are going to be able to control the content of your ideas. So here, you are going to plan first. But what should you do in planning an argumentative essay? First thing first, you have to read the question very carefully. This is very important because many students who fail in writing their essays, not because they cannot do that, but because they misread the question. So it's very important for you to assess the question first, to make sure that you know what is required in the question. Yeah, and usually writing an argumentative essay, we are guided by a question or a topic, and that's the thing that we have to stick to. Try to focus on that. If we have been very sure with what we are, now you can start jotting down the ideas. Try to see it from two perspectives. Put it in here. We are invited to be wise enough to think and to share our ideas. So we put our ideas in two different sides, supporting the ideas and countering the ideas. We can call it pro for supporting and con for the countering. The thing that you have to pay attention is that supporting ideas here is not supporting the topic of the question, but supporting your thesis statement. Yeah, you are referring to your thesis statement. That's why it is very important to think about the stance first before you go further. And then after that, you can finalize your thesis statement after you read and you analyze and you evaluate the ideas that you have. Is the first plan of your stance is the right way, or it makes sense, or you are going to change it? So let's see the example. Now I will give you an example, a very relevant example. Online shopping or internet shopping. Will online shopping or internet shopping completely replace traditional shops or markets? I believe you have your opinion about this. But before we go further, let me ask you first, who likes online shopping or who have ever done online shopping? I believe many of us here did it, right? Who prefer online shopping? Some of you will do. Or some who will still like to go to the shop and try to sightsee and try it on things that you are going to buy. Who likes to go to the mall and buy the things in the mall there? Yeah, some people are still like doing that. They still like doing that. So let's plan it. As I told you before, write down the question. Online shopping will only what I'm saying is refer to the question, and then after that plan your stance. For example, in this case, my planned stance is this one. Online shopping will only replace some but not all traditional shops or markets. What do you think? Sounds good? Or you may modify it? You may have your own. The thing is, there's nothing right, nothing wrong in making an argumentative essay. The point is that whatever you propose must be supported by logical thinking from the ideas you have. Now, let's see this. Those who like online shopping, tell me your ideas. Why do you prefer online shopping? Here we have some ideas here. One, because it is cheaper. Second, because it is convenient. It is convenient because you're just going to click your phones or your laptops and you can do it anytime, anywhere, right? And then because the process is fast, if you're clicking it and if you're browsing it fast, it can happen in seconds even. And online shopping offers lots of products. You can choose as many as you can. So, what do you think about the benefits of online shopping written here? Do you agree with that? You have your own ideas. Feel free to add or to modify. Now, after we think about what's the benefits of online shopping, let's move on to the other perspective. which might be the problems that we have with online shopping or the strengths of traditional shops and markets. Now we have, of course, about the tangible things that we can touch and see if we go to traditional shops or markets. That makes sense. Some people really like to try it first before they buy it. Second, face-to-face transaction is more convincing. What do you think? Makes sense. Work well, or you want to modify it? It's really up to you, and this is the suggestion. For example, the thesis statement that we have is that despite the convenience offered in online shopping or in internet shopping, there are still some plus points in traditional shops or markets that make some of them remain on demand. As once again, you may have your own. This is just an example. Now let's go to, if you are sure enough with the plan, and then you feel that you're ready to start to write, now we will go to the introduction. Just like with the previous slide that I have shown you, in introduction, we will try to think of these matters to make sure that your essay is worth reading. Introduction is very crucial. Just like our house, for our essay, this is the facade. If our introduction is interesting, people will be engaged and they will read the essay further. So let's see what must be there. First, general discussion or background information. What is that? General discussion, from the name itself. It's the general statement. In fact, this is the function is to prepare the reader before we go to the topic of discussion. So we are trying to talk, or we're trying to tell the reader what happened to the more general scope, to the world, to the country, or to the people. What happened? What is the reason that we want to talk about this topic? What urgency we have that we start to talk about this topic? So that's the general discussion. Prepare the audience first. Next, definition. Definition can be explicitly written in our introduction, or it can be implicit. And definition is only given if it is necessary. What I mean is, some words in the questions can be very wide, can be very vague. So to make sure that the audience are thinking what we are thinking, we might give the definition there. For example, if the question is, can money buy happiness? Which word is vague? Yes, happiness. So we might give a clarification of what we mean by happiness. Or when the question is money the symbol of success? Which word is vague or unclear? Yep, success. We might give our definition of what success is to make it clear for the audience to follow us in our essay. Then we go to the conflict. Human nature. This is our nature to be engaged or to be interested in problems, in conflicts. When we read newspaper, we tend to open the ones that shows controversy or conflict. So, the same case, in our essay, we are supposed to write down the conflict or the problem that we face to let the reader engaged. And then, just to make sure that we are really answering the question, check the keywords. Whether we have tackled all the keywords in the question there in introduction or not. But I'm not suggesting you to copy this question exactly the same in your introduction. Paraphrase it if you can. And don't forget the thesis statement. thesis statement is your stance. You put it at the last part of your introduction. If you read some argumentative essays, maybe you can see or you can find that some of them do not put the thesis statement in the introduction. Instead, they give a question to hook the reader. That is another style. But here, this time I am inviting you to do the basic one, to put the thesis statement there. Okay? Next, let us see the example. Next, we're going to see the example to make it clearer that we have discussed the points that must be in introduction. Now we are going to see it in the example. Take a look at the question again. We always have to refer back to the question. Will internet shopping completely replace traditional shops and markets? Sorry, I missed the S there. Now, I put the colors in the introduction, and I would like you to read it first and try to guess maybe what's the meaning of the color there. Okay? Read it first. Okay. If you see there, what do you think is the red one? Since the past decade, the internet has been like a real evolution for the modern world, and so on and so forth, until with each of them trying to make our lives better and easier. Yes, that is the general discussion. General, we are talking about the general point here, which is internet, before we are going to the specific one, which is online or internet shopping. So when we are talking about the general internet and the website in the red color, we go to the blue one. What is the blue one? One of those is internet shopping, which allows people to purchase goods online and have them delivered to their doorstep. What is that? Exactly, that is the clarification of internet shopping. In other words, that is the definition, implicit definition of internet shopping. So basically, it doesn't matter if you write it that way, because it's just to clarify what we mean by internet shopping, and that we have the same understanding of internet shopping is, or online shopping is. And then after the purple, before we talk about the purple, we move to the blue, to the bluish green again. Traditional shops and markets that need people to do face-to-face transaction, on the other hand, has its own strengths that cannot be done in online shopping. Yeah, that is the clarification of what we mean by traditional shops and markets, which is about face-to-face transaction. So the definition is there. Now, what is the purple? What do you think the purple is? Yup, the purple is the conflict or the main discussion of our essay. However, in the middle of the euphoria of online shopping, some malls and shops are closing down. What I mean is the traditional shops and malls are closing down, which makes people start to think whether traditional shops will soon be totally replaced by online shopping. And that's the problem. That's what makes people worry. And that's the thing that will engage the people to read your essay. Now, I would like to ask you to see the underlined ones. Those are the keywords that if you want to make sure that you have tackled the keywords in the question, you try to see the words in your introduction. If they are there, so there are. And it means that you have tackled the question. Now the blue one, the last line of the blue there is the thesis statement. Just like what I have shown you before, the thesis statement of this question is, therefore, despite the convenience offered in online shopping or internet shopping, there are still some plus points in traditional shops or markets that make them remain on demand. This is just an example. You may modify it. You may make your own. Okay, after we are quite satisfied with our introduction, now let's move on to our body paragraphs. But before that, I just want to remind you that we have some choices of flow for the body paragraphs. We have sandwich, turn the table, or opposite to turn the table. In sandwich, we will present first our supporting argument or the pro, and then we will after that move to the countering arguments or the con, and we will close it again with our supporting arguments, just like a sandwich. Or we have also turned the table. Here we are presenting first the countering arguments, the ones that we think people will believe in, the opposite side, and then after that we try to turn it back by giving our supporting arguments or the pros. And the last one is the other way around. And with the question of online shopping that we have, I am choosing the turn the table, or con and pro. So let's see. So after we choose the turn the table, what do you think is the first discussion in our body paragraph? Now let's see. We will refer back to the planning. If you see there, the points of benefits of online shopping, we have some. And which one do you think will be the best way to discuss first? Exactly. Talking about shopping, the first thing first that people think about is usually the price. Good. So we are going to talk about the price. It's cheaper. Now let's see the points first. But before we go to the example, I just want to remind you, I believe this is, you've been familiar with this, how to make a paragraph. Remember that there must be one topic sentence in each paragraph, and it will be supported by the supporting sentences. There are many ways actually in developing the supporting sentences, but in any way you choose, try not to forget the point. The point can sometimes be can actually be put in the topic sentence itself. So don't forget to explain it, elaborate it, and put examples or evidence there to make it very convincing, and close it with the concluding sentence. This is actually optional, but my suggestion is that you use it because it will make your paragraph neat. The position of your each body paragraph will be clear whether this is a pro paragraph or a con paragraph. Now, to make it clearer, let's go to the example of the first body paragraph. Remember, we are using the turn the table style, so we are going to present the countering argument first. Please read it and try to guess what the meaning, what the colors mean. Okay, the blue one. One of the most important advantages of service like online shopping will be the cheaper price it offers. Good, that is the topic sentence. And what is the point? The point is the price. Yes, you're right. Now, what is the green one? Indeed, goods on sale over the internet have a much lower price compared to their equivalents in traditional shops. This is mainly due to the fact that online stores do not have to pay for showrooms and retail employees or even taxes and so on and so forth. For sure, this is the explanation or the elaboration. And then we have the red one. I would like you to compare the red one with the blue one. Yeah, they are similar. That's true, because the purpose of having the red one here, which is the concluding sentence, is to support, is to mold your paragraph, to give it a clear position. The law of the market dictates that people will always prefer the cheapest prices for goods of the same quality, and internet shopping clearly wins here. So this concluding sentence strengthens the topic sentence. So if you're going to refer back to the points that must be in body paragraph, what is not there? Yes, we don't really have the evidence here. You may add it, you may revise it, and what do you think will be a convincing idea? when we talk about price, yeah, you can give the real price that you have searched. For example, a price of a phone with certain brand that is sold in certain online shop, and compare it with the price of phone if sold in a mall, for example. You put it there, the real price, and that will be a great evidence. Next, second paragraph, because we are using turn the table, of course we are still supporting the previous paragraph with another countering idea, countering argument. If the first one is talking about price, the second one here, what do you think? What second idea of countering? Please read it first. Yes, that's true. The second point is its convenience. You can read it in the in the blue line, in the blue sentence, which is the topic sentence. It's about this concept. And then the explanation is in the green one. Again, people do not have to waste time in congested traffic to go to the shops to look for the goods and move to another when they do not find any, and so on and so forth. That is the explanation of what it means by convenience. And then it's closed with a concluding sentence with the red one. In today's world, where time is considered very precious, internet shopping offers a great way to save a few hours each month and allows us busy people to do more activities. This is just an example. You can add it yourself. But again, what is not there? Yes, the evidence, the clear evidence is not there yet. Maybe you can give an evidence such as the real time someone's used just to click and to order a thing in online shop, and compare it with the real price when someone needs to go to the mall, even by car or by bus, and roaming around the mall and eventually buy the goods. You compare it and you write down the real time there, and that will be very convincing. Next, still, I'm going to, because based on our planning, we still have some ideas of the countering paragraphs. So the third paragraph of the body is still about the countering ideas. In addition to the cheap prices and quick service, there is also a wide range of products internet shopping offers. So the topic sentence has the point there, which is the products, wide range of products, with the explanation given in the green one. And now we have the purple one. That is an example. That's true. For example, a football jersey shirt can have a personalized name written on the backs, and customers can have a preview of the product online before they click purchase. Actually here, you can really write down the names of the online shoppings, the names of the goods that you buy, to make it really clear, to make it realistic and relevant. And then don't forget to add the thesis statement there. The availability of wide range of products gives more options for the customers to find their desired goods. It's strengthening again the topic sentence in the blue one. Now, after we have tackled the countering ideas or the cons, now that's the time for us to move or to turn it all back to the supporting paragraphs. So this is going to be the first supporting idea or the first pro. Now, if you are trying to see here, there is another color presented there, yellow. What do you think is that? What do you think that color means? Let's read it. However, even with all the above mentioned advantages, there are things that can only be done in traditional shops. Now, we are going to talk about the benefits of traditional shops, or maybe even the difficulties of online shops here, because we are talking about the pro or supporting arguments why that some traditional shops and markets will still be on demand, right? So that yellow one functions as the transition line. In some other examples, you might see transition in a form of paragraph, but here you can also use it as only sentence, transitional sentence. It can be transitional paragraph or transitional sentence. It's up to you. the rest goes the same. We have the blue color as topic sentence, we have the green one as the elaboration, and we have example with the purple one, and the red one with the thesis statement. In this case, let's see the point. What online shops lack is not only the human touch, the friendliness, but also the customer's ability to touch and feel the goods. Yeah, that's the point. Does it make sense? Of course. So, it's elaborated in the green one with the example, not evidence, example of the purple one. For purchasing clothes, for example, this can be quite a problem, as one which is perfect, if it is worn by the model, might not be perfect if the customers wear it themselves. That's realistic, and that makes sense, right? That's a good example of problem with online shopping. So, what else? Next, we go to the second supporting paragraph, or the second pro here, and this is also the most important one, which is about security in internet shopping. You might experience it yourself, or you might read or see it in your social media that someone's posting their experience being the victim of fraud or online shopping scams. So this is strong, and this is wise also if it is put in the end, because people usually remember the last one more than the beginning. So that's the strategy in putting your planning. Yeah. So we have the same one. We have the blue one. We have the blue one for the topic sentence. We also have the green one for the elaboration. Purple for the example, but it doesn't really have an evidence. If you can research and find out a big case of online shopping scams, you can put it there. That will be very convincing. And then it is closed with a concluding sentence. These changes will often make people think twice before they decide to buy things online. So that's the end of the body paragraphs. I would like you to pay attention before we go to the conclusion that in almost every beginning of the paragraph there will be transitional words. However, in addition, right? Or what else? Furthermore, those are transition words. The function is to bridge the paragraphs, to link, to make the flow smooth. So to help also the reader to understand the flow of your thoughts. Now we go to the conclusion. Remember, in conclusion, we are going to summarize the points that we have in the body, but we have to paraphrase it. Do not copy exactly the same. And then we may give our suggestion and future prediction there, as we can see here. In conclusion, even though internet shopping is undeniably a very efficient way of doing purchases, it remains for the time being constrained by its few but still very important flaws. That's the summary of the limitation and the strength of online shopping, and so on and so forth. You can read it yourself. You can see there that we are trying to measure all points that we have in the supporting and in the countering paragraphs here, and then in the end we come up with the final statement, which is referring back to our thesis statement earlier, that therefore online shopping or internet shopping will not totally replace traditional shops. Not totally. Pay attention to the word totally. Yes, it may. You can see that in this conclusion it stated that yes, it will replace some or even most of them, but not totally replace traditional shops and markets, as for some people, touching and seeing is believing. Now, we have come up to the last part of our essay, and you can see that by learning to plan everything, our arguments, here and there in a more structured way. Our ideas are flowing, organized in a good organization, logically and convincingly. However, before we close it, I would like to make sure whether you really follow my discussion, my lesson. So this can be also functioning as your checklist. After you write an essay, go back to the checklist whether you have it all or not. So, can you guess what are those? We have mentioned it before, and then I would like you to guess. It works with my students by giving them these abbreviations. It helps them to remember more. So, let's try. GD, general discussion, or general background, or you may have it as background information. D, definition, keywords, conflict, controversy, thesis statement. What about in the bodies? What is the S? In every body paragraph, it must contain one exactly topic sentence, followed by supporting sentences, which should facilitate the aspects of PEE. It will be easy for you to remember, I believe. Point, elaboration or elaboration or explanation, and evidence or example, and close it with concluding sentence. And what about the flow? What are the recommended flows? Yes, you can choose whether it's a sandwich, turn the table, or opposite to turn the table. And don't forget about the transition words. For the conclusion, summary, extract, paraphrase it, don't forget, future prediction, suggestion, and don't forget, this is very important, that you have to refer back to your thesis statement and close it with a final statement. That's simple, and it's not going to be difficult if we keep on trying and practicing. But to make your essay more fancy, if I may say, you may of course develop it yourself, modify it yourself. There's no right, no wrong. Just keep trying. But these are just some of the ideas or tips for your introductory paragraph. You may modify your introduction. If previously we are suggesting general discussion, you may, instead of using that, use quote from famous person. That will be very engaging. Question. People will be invited to think before they read. It can be a rhetorical question anyway. Misconception, or even provoking statement. I think lately journalists they like to make their headlines using this provoking statement because they want to make it as a clickbait. But you can also apply it here if you want. For the body paragraphs, these are the things that I would like you to remember. Form your topic sentence and concluding sentence to show the position of your paragraph, your body paragraph, in referring to the question or your thesis statement. So it's clear, oh, this is a pro paragraph, oh, this is a con paragraph. It helps the reader to measure your final decision of the question. Yeah? And for the conclusion, it will be also nice if you can end it with a punchline or a quote. And with our previous discussion of online shopping versus traditional shops, I might give this. Because for some, shopping is an art, for others, it's a sport. So that's catchy. Closing in a catchy way will make the audience remember more. So I don't think it's difficult. We just need to keep practicing. So my last line, write and share your view with the world. Thank you very much. See you again, maybe next time with me. Goodbye.
Hi everyone, hi teachers and students. We would like to say thank you for your support and thank you for keep learning with Mentari Group live streaming lesson. And now, Mentari Group in collaboration with Pesona Edu would like to support digital learning which enables children to learn independently at home. Currently, it is available for 3 titles which are New Math Champion, this is New Math Champion, and it is available for Juara Matematika, an Indonesian version of New Math Champion, and also Juara Science, a science textbook in Indonesian language. And through this support, we hope the children of Indonesia can more easily learn mathematics and science in this current situation. After this, let us show you how this digital learning and how mathematics learning can be done with interactive features and engaging visual and also systematic lesson delivery. Let's have a look at the New Math Champion Level 2. And this is the page of New Math Champion 2. And let's see the contents in the primary 2. The students will learn about numbers to 1000 and then addition and subtraction using models, addition and subtraction, and then it also about multiplication, division, money, length, and I think allow us to show you chapter 11 which is about math. Let's click. This is math in chapter 11, and the page that we show you is carry out this activity. So it is one of the features in New Math Champion digital interactive books. And the first lesson, it is about measuring in kilograms. Talking about carry out this activity, it provides the opportunity for the kids to consolidate mathematical concept through activities, of course, and the use of concrete materials. In this case, we can learn about 1 kilogram mass, and we compare 1 kilogram mass with fruits, and in this case it is pear, and also another object that is bag. And let's turn the next page that is about ready set go. It is also one of the features in New Math Champion. It introduces the concepts, skills, or problem-solving strategies in a very engaging way. And the visual and the pictures here are also very good and very interesting for the children to learn. And let's check another page. And this is the page that we want to show you. You know, some pages are also enriched with interactive features, which are marked with this kind of icon, this. Yeah, so let's check this icon, and there you go. It is our digital interactive. Write the mass of this fruit. Yes, in the lessons teaches us how to measure the mass of fruits with weighing machine. So in this digital interactive, as you can see here, we can measure the mass using the weighing machine. By taking a look at the scale, we can know how many kilograms it is. So let's answer 1 kilogram and then check the answer. Yes, we got correct. Yeah, let's create another problem and let's choose the wrong answer. What response does it appear? Yeah, this is watermelon and it is 7 kilogram. but we want to choose the wrong answer, for example 4 kilogram, and let's see. Oh, the answer is very wrong. Isn't that so interesting? Yes, indeed. Let's check the other level. We want to check another level. Maybe we can check New Math Champion level 4. Yeah, this is New Math Champion level 4. And let's check the contents in this level. There are whole numbers, factors and multiples, fractions, decimals, percentage, and maybe we can check angles. Chapter 8. Yeah, angles are dissected into several lessons. As you can see here in the first lessons, we can learn about naming angles. All of you can also have interactive activity by clicking this icon, yeah? There are some quick practices also that help us to understand the concept learned in this Ready and Set Go features. And let's turn to another page. This is lesson 2. It is about measuring angles. We can learn here how to measure angles by using mathematical tools, which is protractor. And in these features, all of you can learn the steps how to measure the angle by using the protractor. Yeah, the protractor can help us to find the degrees of the angle. Now let's check another page that is about practices of measuring angle. This is the quick practices that can help you to understand more about measuring angles. And we got icons here, so maybe we can check what it is. Yeah, this is our digital interactive books, and it is about using a protractor to measure angle A, B, and C. So we can use the virtual protractor to measure this angle. Wow, this is very interesting. And also, we have something that allow us to see the angle closer so that we can choose which scale that we can choose to find this angle. Is it inner scale, the red one, or the outer scale? So in this case, we use the red one, yeah, the inner circle. So what angle is it? It is 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. Now let's answer 74. Yes, it is correct. That's our digital interactive of New Math Champion. So we are looking forward to have you learning with this one. Yeah? What do you think? I think it's very simple, and for your information, it can be accessed in your computer, laptop, gadget in all operating systems such as Windows, iOS, and Android. Thank you so much for watching and keep learning with us.
Halo adik-adik, saatnya membaca dongeng bersama Kak Ocha. Adik-adik, hari ini Kak Ocha ingin bercerita dengan judul Apa itu di punggungku? Nah, adik-adik coba lihat di punggungnya masing-masing. Bisa lihat sesuatu? Kelihatan? Susah ya? Begitu pula dengan si kucing. Jadi, pada suatu hari, kucing ingin sekali bermain di luar rumah. Enaknya bermain apa ya? Aha! Bermain gulungan benang saja. Akhirnya, kucing pun mengambil mainan gulungan benang dan bermainnya di halaman rumah. Kucing melempar gulungan benang, kemudian berlari dan menangkapnya. Hap! Gulungan benang, gemas. Dan si kucing terlalu asyik bermain gulungan benang. Sampai akhirnya ia pun tidak sadar bahwa ada seekor tupai yang sedang memperhatikannya dari atas pohon. Wah, kayaknya seru sekali kucing itu bermain benang. Aku juga mau main ikutan. Akhirnya tupai pun melompat dari pohon, melayang di udara dan hap! Wah! Apa itu di punggungku? Ternyata tupai hinggap di punggung si kucing. Si kucing pun sangat ketakutan karena ia tidak tahu apakah sesuatu yang ada di punggungnya bisa menggigitnya atau menyengatnya atau bahkan menusuknya. Wah, apa itu di punggungku? Lalu kemudian tupai pun berkata, Hei, tenanglah. Apa masalahmu? Hei, berhenti. Namun suara tupai terlalu kecil sehingga kucing yang panik tidak bisa mendengar suara tupai sama sekali. Kucing yang panik pun berlarian ke sana kemari. Wah, apa itu? Apa itu di punggungku? Ia pun berlari ke arah lapangan. Biasanya di lapangan para hewan suka berolahraga. Lalu tanpa sengaja kucing menyepak bola yang sedang dimainkan oleh musang. Aduh, sakit. Ternyata bola tersebut mengenai wajah musang. Aduh, hai kucing, berhenti kau. Aduh. Musang pun sangat marah. Kucing yang ketakutan melihat musang akhirnya berlari ke arah pasar. Musang tentu saja mengejar kucing. Hei, berhenti kucing. Hei. Lalu tiba-tiba cek. Suara apakah itu? Ternyata itu adalah sayuran milik Pak Beruang yang sudah hancur terinjak oleh kucing dan musang. Hei, apa yang kalian lakukan dengan sayuranku? Hancur semua. Hei, berhenti. Beruang sangat marah karena sayurannya sudah tidak bisa dijual. Kucing dan musang berlari kabur dari beruang. Beruang pun mengejar kucing dan musang. Lalu kucing, musang, dan beruang berlari ke arah restoran. Lalu tiba-tiba, brak! Mereka menabrak badak si pelayan yang membawa nampan berisi makanan. Dan semua makanan itu sudah jatuh berantakan. Hei, apa yang kalian lakukan? Makananku untuk para tamu. Sayang sekali, badak sangat marah. Lalu kucing, musang, dan beruang berlari kabur mereka. Lalu si badak pun berlari mengejar kucing, musang, dan beruang. Kucing, musang, beruang, dan badak saling berkejar-kejaran. Mereka lari ke atas bukit dan semakin mereka berlari ke atas, mereka semakin berlari melambat. Dan kemudian mereka menghempaskan diri ke tanah. Mereka semua kelelahan. Lalu adik-adik, bagaimana dengan tupai ya? Di mana si tupai? Tiba-tiba tupai turun dari punggung kucing. Aduh, apa tadi dari punggungku? Tanya kucing yang sedang kelelahan dan tidak melihat tupai sama sekali. Lalu tiba-tiba dari puncak bukit terdapat seekor singa yang sangat besar. Wow! Bagaimana adik-adik suara singa? Bagaimana? Wow! Singa mengaum sangat keras. Wah! Apakah kamu yang ada di punggungku tadi? Apa? Wow! Kata singa. Karena kucing dan tupai ketakutan melihat singa, mereka pun berlari ke bawah bukit, melewati musang, beruang, dan badak yang kebingungan. Namun akhirnya mereka semua berlari ke kaki bukit. Sesampainya di bawah, Tupai tiba-tiba berhenti. Lalu kucing, musang, beruang, dan badak juga akhirnya berhenti dan saling bertabrakan. Mereka pun menghempaskan diri di tanah. Aduh, lelah. Hei, kucing, itu tadi, Tupai itu tadi yang ada di punggungmu, kata badak. Iya, memang betul, aku yang ada di punggung kamu, kucing. Aku ingin sekali bermain denganmu karena kayaknya asyik sekali bermain gulungan benang, ucap Tupai tanpa ada rasa bersalah sama sekali. Bagaimana kucing kalau kita bermain sekarang? Apa? Bermain sekarang? Akhirnya kucing pun pingsan karena kelelahan dan terlalu kaget karena ternyata yang ada di punggungnya hanyalah seekor tupai. Begitu adik-adik ceritanya. Kaget ya karena ternyata yang di punggungnya hanya seekor tupai. Dan adik-adik, sampai jumpa di cerita berikutnya. Dadah!
Hi everyone, hi teachers and students. We would like to say thank you for your support and thank you for keep learning with Mentari Group live streaming lesson. And now, Mentari Group in collaboration with Pesona Edu would like to support digital learning which enables children to learn independently at home. Currently, it is available for 3 titles which are New Math Champion, this is New Math Champion, and it is available for Juara Matematika, an Indonesian version of New Math Champion, and also Juara Science, a science textbook in Indonesian language. And through this support, we hope the children of Indonesia can more easily learn mathematics and science in this current situation. After this, let us show you how this digital learning and how mathematics learning can be done with interactive features and engaging visual and also systematic lesson delivery. Let's have a look at the New Math Champion Level 2. And this is the page of New Math Champion 2. And let's see the contents in the primary 2. The students will learn about numbers to 1000 and then addition and subtraction using models, addition and subtraction, and then it also about multiplication, division, money, length, and I think allow us to show you chapter 11 which is about math. Let's click. This is math in chapter 11, and the page that we show you is carry out this activity. So it is one of the features in New Math Champion digital interactive books. And the first lesson, it is about measuring in kilograms. Talking about carry out this activity, it provides the opportunity for the kids to consolidate mathematical concept through activities, of course, and the use of concrete materials. In this case, we can learn about 1 kilogram mass, and we compare 1 kilogram mass with fruits, and in this case, it is pear, and also another object that is bag. And let's turn the next page. that is about, ready, set, go. It is also one of the features in New Math Champion. It introduces the concepts, skills, or problem-solving strategies in a very engaging way. And the visual and the pictures here are also very good and very interesting for the children to learn. And let's check another page. And this is the page that we want to show you. You know, some pages are also enriched with interactive features, which are marked with this kind of icon. This. Yeah. So let's check this icon. And there you go. It is our digital interactive. Write the mass of this fruit. Yes, in the lessons teaches us how to measure the mass of fruits with weighing machine. So in this digital interactive, as you can see here, we can measure the mass using the weighing machine. By taking a look at the scale, we can know how many kilograms it is. So let's answer 1 kilogram and then check the answer. Yes, we got correct. Yeah, let's create another problem and let's choose the wrong answer. What response does it appear? Yeah, this is watermelon and it is 7 kilogram. But we want to choose the wrong answer, for example 4 kilogram. And let's see. Oh, the answer is very wrong. Isn't that so interesting? Yes, indeed. Let's check the other level. We want to check another level. Maybe we can check New Math Champion level 4. Yeah, this is New Math Champion level 4. And let's check the contents in this level. There are whole numbers, factors and multiples, fractions, decimals, percentage, and maybe we can check angles. Chapter 8. Yeah, angles are dissected into several lessons. As you can see here in the first lessons, we can learn about naming angles. All of you can also have interactive activity by clicking this icon, yeah? There are some quick practices also that help us to understand the concept learned in this ready and set go features. And let's turn to another page. This is lesson 2. It is about measuring angles. We can learn here how to measure angles by using mathematical tools, which is protractor. And in these features, all of you can learn the steps how to measure the angle by using the protractor. Yeah, the protractor can help us to find the degrees of the angle. Now let's check another page that is about practices of measuring angle. This is the quick practices that can help you to understand more about measuring angles. And we got icons here, so maybe we can check what it is. Yeah, this is our digital interactive books, and it is about using a protractor to measure angle A, B, and C. So we can use the virtual protractor to measure this angle. Wow, this is very interesting. And also, we have something that allow us to see the angle closer so that we can choose which scale that we can choose to find this angle. Is it inner scale, the red one, or the outer scale? So in this case, we use the red one, yeah, the inner circle. So what angle is it? It is 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. Now let's answer 74. Yes, it is correct. That's our digital interactive of New Math Champion. So we are looking forward to have you learning with this one. Yeah? What do you think? I think it's very simple, and for your information, it can be accessed in your computer, laptop, gadget in all operating systems such as Windows, iOS, and Android. Thank you so much for watching and keep learning with us.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Mantari Group live streaming lesson. I am Miss Shelleen Cruz from Kairos Gracia Christian School. Today, we are going to be learning about the types of chemical changes. Later on, I'm also going to show you some experiments that you can try at home using simple things or substances that you can find in your own houses. So let us start our lesson for today. So what is a chemical change? A chemical change involves formation of new substances. A chemical change is usually irreversible. A chemical change is also a result of chemical interaction. Chemical changes occurs when matter interact with heat, light, or electricity. Chemical changes also occur when different kinds of matter interact. During chemical change, energy in the form of light or heat, or maybe both, can be taken in or given out. Chemical changes can be represented using represents order and direction of the chemical reaction. Above the arrow sign, we have conditions. Conditions are factors required for the chemical reaction to take place. At the right side of our chemical equation or our word equation are our products. The products are substances at the end of the chemical reaction. An example of a chemical reaction occurs during the burning of charcoal. The word equation for this reaction is carbon plus oxygen yields carbon dioxide plus water. On the left side of this word equation, our reactants are carbon and oxygen. our condition is heat. So heat is necessary for carbon and oxygen to react with each other. On the right side of our equation, we have our products, the carbon dioxide and water. Let us now move on to the specific types of chemical changes. Number 1, we have the interaction between matter when mixed. Here we have sodium. Sodium is a metal at room temperature. Sodium must be kept under oil so that it will not react with oxygen in air. It could also react with the moisture in air or with water. That is why it is always kept under oil. One of our reactants besides sodium is chlorine. Chlorine is a green gas at room temperature. It is highly toxic. Sodium and chlorine, when combined with each other and mix, will react to form something that could be edible. The product is sodium chloride, or as we know, table salt. Here on the screen, we have the actual reaction between sodium and chlorine. During the reaction, we could see that light and heat is also given out. In the replay, you could see that sodium immediately reacts with the chlorine in the container. At the end of the reaction, white solid or white substance is left. That is the product sodium chloride or table salt. Today, I'm going to demonstrate an experiment that you could do at home. You're going to need vinegar, a glass, and baking soda. Baking soda and vinegar are common materials that you can get in the kitchen. Just pour the to need vinegar, a glass, and baking soda. Baking soda and vinegar are common materials that you can get in the kitchen. Just pour the vinegar into the glass and then we're going to add the sodium carbonate, or in this case, this is the baking soda. After adding the baking soda, we can see that there is bubbles of gas that is formed. And obviously, we can see that when we mix these two substances together, there is a chemical reaction. The two interact with each other. You're going to need vinegar, a glass, and baking soda. Baking soda and vinegar are common materials that you can get in the kitchen. Just pour the vinegar into the glass and then we're going to add the sodium carbonate, or in this case, this is the baking soda. After adding the baking soda, we can see that there is bubbles of gas that is formed. And obviously, we can see that when we mix these two substances together, there is a chemical reaction. The two interact with each other. Let us move on with our next type of chemical change. Number 2, we have interaction between matter and heat. Heat interacts with different substances to bring about many different kinds of changes. A raw egg consists of colorless albumin with a yellow yolk. We can see that when we crack an egg, it is liquid. But when we heat the egg, when we boil it or when we fry it, the heat causes changes in the egg. The egg white and the egg yolk becomes solid. At the same time, the egg white changes from colorless to white. Another interaction between matter and heat is thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition is a process in which a substance is broken down into two or more simpler substances by the effect of heat. Our example is sugar. When sugar is heated, it brings about products of carbon and water. Here, our reactant is only sugar. Once it is heated, the complex substance sugar is transformed into two other simpler substances in the form of the carbon and water. Another reaction showing thermal decomposition is when copper 2 carbonate is heated. Copper 2 carbonate is yellow-green solid. Once it is heated, two substances are formed. The black solid that immediately forms is copper 2 oxide. The other product of the decomposition is carbon dioxide. In the animation, we can see that carbon dioxide formed is actually collected in our test tube that contains lime water. The carbon dioxide reacts with the lime water and turns it milky or cloudy. Another type of chemical change, number 3, is the interaction between matter and oxygen. Oxygen interacts with matter to cause chemical change. These types of chemical changes are called oxidation reactions. On the screen, you could see we have a bicycle chain that is rusting. Rusting is also an oxidation reaction. Steel or iron, that is the bicycle chain made out of, reacts with the oxygen in air and also the moisture, forming rust. Another type of interaction between matter and oxygen are combustion reactions. Combustion refers to the combination of a substance with oxygen in the presence of heat. Combustion releases high amounts of energy. This energy can be used for cooking, for transport, producing heat, and also generating electrical energy in power stations. In the diagram, you can see on the board or on the screen, we have a power station in which coal is burnt or undergoing combustion that helps generate electricity. I'm also going to show you a simple experiment, but please be sure that you're going to exercise precaution when you do this at home. We are going to need water, going to need water and soap. The soap that I use is just the ordinary dishwashing soap. Other than that, you're going to need air freshener. Of course, since this is combustion, you're going to need a lighter or matches. I've already prepared a basin that contains water and the liquid soap. Going to need water and soap. The soap that I use is just the ordinary dishwashing soap. Other than that, you're going to need air freshener. Of course, since this is combustion, you're going to need a lighter or matches. I've already prepared a basin that contains water and the liquid soap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bubble this air freshener into the basin of soapy water. Air fresheners like this contain aerosols. They are combustible. It means they can burn. Before trying this out, you have to make sure that your hand is really wet. It is also essential that if you are going to do this at home, do it outside the house. And make sure nothing that is combustible is nearby. These bubbles contain the aerosols that come from the air freshener. When we ignite it, you could see that fire is produced. It produces heat and also light. Once more. Again, make sure that your hands are wet, because if you're not going to get your hands wet, you're going to get third-degree burns. Again, exercise precaution if you want to try these experiments at home. Make sure also that there is adult supervision. Make sure afterwards that you're going to wash your hands with clean water. Let us move on to another type of chemical change. Number 4, we have interaction between matter and light. Light interacts with matter around us and cause chemical changes to take place. A good example of the interaction between matter and light is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process in which green plants make food in the presence of light. A chemical change in which our reactants, carbon dioxide and water, in the presence of light and chlorophyll, produce glucose and oxygen. Another example where we can see interaction between matter and light is the use of X-ray. X-ray films are made of thin plastic bases coated with crystals of silver bromide or silver chloride, which are converted into silver by X-rays. X-rays, as we know, is used to observe the internal structures of a person's body. For example, when we want to say if we have broken bones or want to examine our chest cavity. Especially nowadays that COVID-19 is very much prevalent, upper respiratory tract infections can be monitored using X-rays. Another example of interaction between matter and light is done in photography, especially for Polaroid cameras. The Polaroid cameras uses paper to develop the image. The paper is actually coated with the silver salt, either silver bromide or silver chloride. Let us move on to the next type of chemical change. In this case, we have the interaction between matter and electricity. When an electric current passes through some substances, the substances are broken down into simpler substances. The process is known as electrolysis. Here we have on the screen an animation of the electrolysis of acidified water. When we say acidified water, it is just normal distilled water that we add a few drops of acid into, just to increase the conductivity of the water. During the electrolysis of water, water is H2O. With the aid of electricity during electrolysis, H2O, or water, is broken down into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. In the animation, you can see the formation of these gases. It shows the fizzing around the electrodes that are used in the electrolysis. A good example of the interaction between matter and electricity is electroplating. Electroplating is actually the process in which a substance is coated with a metal using the passage of electricity. This is the same concept as electrolysis. In the animation, we could see a blue solution that is copper sulfate. The copper sulfate is our electrolyte. But how do we do electroplating? Here on the screen, you could see we have a setup in which we wanted to electroplate a spoon. The spoon is connected to wires. The wire is connected to the negative terminal of the battery or any power supply. When connected to the negative terminal of the battery, the spoon becomes our cathode. And the one that we want to coat the spoon with, in this case, it is silver. Silver is connected again to wires that is connected to the positive terminal of the battery or the power supply. The silver, the metal, is our anode. the solution in which the spoon and the silver are immersed must be made out of a salt of the metal we want to coat the spoon with. In this case, it has to be a silver salt. Silver salts could be silver chloride or silver nitrate. With the passage of electricity, afterwards, you will observe that the spoon will be coated with silver. So that is the conclusion of our topic for today. So let us have a recap of the ideas that we've learned with our tutorial. Number 1, when matter interacts with other matter, remember, a chemical reaction occurs. Second, when matter interacts with heat, chemical changes such as thermal decomposition will happen. When matter interacts with oxygen, chemical changes such as rusting and oxidation occur. Next, when matter interacts with light, chemical changes like photosynthesis happen. And lastly, when matter interacts with electricity, chemical changes such as oxidation can occur. Let us test your knowledge of our topic for today. Read the questions on the screen. Number 1, the question is asking how we can identify a chemical change. Think how we can identify a chemical change. All right, so a chemical change, check your answers. Remember, chemical changes are irreversible. New substances are formed. Chemical changes can be brought about by heat, light, or even electricity. Let us go to question number 2. Question number 2, what are the 3 components of a word equation? Think of the 3 components of a word equation. Let us check your answers. The 3 components of a word equation are reactants, conditions, and products. Let us now move on to question number 3. Question number 3, we have been given the word equation which describes the burning of sulfur in air. Sulfur plus oxygen, when heated, gives sulfur dioxide. Question letter A. Name the reactants and the products. Can you tell which are the reactants and which are the products? Okay, let us answer. The reactants are sulfur and oxygen. And the product is sulfur dioxide. Let's move on to question B. What is the condition required for this reaction? The condition required for this reaction is, and the answer is heat. So that sums up our lesson for today. Hope you have a good day and make sure that you're going to review and rewatch the video. Until next time, again, this is Miss Jeline De La Rosa Cruz of Kairos Gracia Christian School and Mentari Group for this live streaming session. Changes such as oxidation can occur. Okay, let us answer. The reactants are sulfur and oxygen. And the product is sulfur dioxide. Let's move on to question B. What is the condition required for this reaction? The condition required for this reaction is, and the answer is heat. So that sums up our lesson for today. Hope you have a good day and make sure that you're going to review and rewatch the video. Until next time, again, this is Miss Jeline De La Rosa Cruz of Kairos Gracia Christian School and Mentari Group for this live streaming session.
Halo adek, gimana rasanya setelah menonton live streaming di Mentari?
Bagus.
Bagus. Apakah Anda puas?
Puas.
Oke, terima kasih.